Yeah, you saw that right. Every night I go to bed around 6 a.m. and I get up around 2 p.m. That's been my life for the past 2 years as a night shift employee. Now, it's not nearly as bad as it sounds. This is pretty much my life. I work a remote corporate job, so I just get to work from home on my computer at my desk all night. And it's really actually kind of peaceful. There are a lot of benefits I see from it. But I recently hit the 2 year mark working here, and that kind of gave me some reflection on the past 2 years and just thinking back to when I got offered this job. When I got the job offer, I was kind of nervous. I didn't know how we would make it work with my wife working different schedules, how it would affect my mental health, how it would just affect my life. I wasn't sure how I was going to make it work. In fact, I vividly remember sitting in an airport in Baltimore, calling my wife and letting her know that I had just gotten the offer and expressing my worry. And even if I don't work the night shift forever, there's some definite lessons I've learned from these past 2 years at the job that I'll bring to my future jobs. And lessons about focus, about discipline, about getting work done, and also about taking time off. One of the first lessons this job taught me was the importance of routine. I remember training for the job and nearly falling asleep by the end of the shift each night. I was drinking an espresso or two overnight each shift just to stay awake. It took a couple weeks, but my body finally got into a schedule. But beyond just getting into routine, this job has taught me to really prioritize my sleep. But because I work overnight and because my shift takes place kind of at the end of my sleep schedule instead of more towards the beginning, I have to really be careful with my sleep schedule and prioritize my sleep. Before I could kind of get by on 5 or 6 hours of sleep even, I could wake up early, get some stuff done, get my work done for the day, and then maybe I'd crash a little bit towards the evening, but that was okay because I could just take a nap or go to bed early or just relax. Now though, my day is completely reversed. When I wake up, I get all of the menial tasks done, the errands, the hobbies, the cooking, the food, everything that needs to be done around the house, and everything that I would normally do after work, I now do before work when I wake up. And then I do my more high value work for the last hours of the day. And that means that, I can't wake up early, be running on just a few hours of sleep, and still make it through all the way up until bedtime doing high value work. I need to get at least 7 hours of sleep so I can be alert enough to do high quality work all the way up until I go to bed. And that's helped me be more disciplined with my routine, with my schedule, and with my physical health. And having this type of really rigid schedule in terms of work and sleep has helped me to keep a rigid routine for the rest of my life. I pretty much do the same things every day, so I very rarely need to make decisions about how I'm going to spend my time because I kind of do the same things in the same order every single day. And that leaves plenty of room for more important decisions, like what I'm going to eat for my 2 a.m. meal every day. But I think this idea of sticking to a strict routine, being disciplined, transitions well into the next thing I've learned from working overnight, and that's to be more focused, to get good work done. We've all had those days where we feel like we're just doing a lot of busy work. We feel like we've been going all day, but when we get in bed, we haven't actually felt like we've accomplished a lot. We check a lot of things off of our to-do lists, but very little of it feels like meaningful work. That's the time when we spent a lot of our decision-making capabilities on decisions that don't really matter that much. We don't get much high value work done. And part of that is because we're jumping between task to task, or maybe a friend interrupts us with a text or a phone call every 10 minutes. We're kind of constantly switching our attention. That's much less possible overnight because everybody I know goes to bed. I'm not nearly as good at mitigating the temptation to pick up my phone to get on social media as I'd like to be, but working the night shift, I don't have to be. There's just nothing to distract myself with. So if I did transition back to the day shift, I'd want to make sure I don't get caught up in that false productivity loop. So working the night shift has taught me a lot about self-discipline, focus, and getting good work done, but it's also taught me a lot about work-life balance. I'm bad at relaxing. I always have been. Whenever I go on vacations, I always kind of get antsy to get back to work. After a few days of relaxing or time off, I'm kind of ready to get back to work to be productive again. And, when I'm in that state where I'm kind of in a constant competition with myself, constantly pushing myself to do more, it's easy to take certain things for granted. Relationships, companionship, friendships, people who care about you, and other just fun things in your life. It's easy to take those things for granted. But when I'm working overnight, it's reminding me not to take those things for granted nearly as much. You know, there's only 2 days out of the week that I get to roll in bed next to my wife, the 2 nights of the week that I'm off. And so instead of taking something as small as that for granted, as small as those moments of companionship, I remember to be thankful for them, to be thankful for all of the small ways we get to connect. And, you know, because my job's remote, I get to maybe travel more than I would if I had a job tied to a physical location. But that also means I have to take my work on the road sometimes. And especially during the pandemic, we've kind of had a hiring freeze, which means I've needed to take my work on the road more. You know, and so when I am on those trips and I have to work, I'm reminded to make the most of the time that I do have. Instead of sleeping in as late as I might normally, I get up earlier so I have more time to really be active and spend time throughout the day, or I get up earlier than I would and then nap in the evening after we spent time out, the sun goes down and we're kind of ready to go back to the hotel room or back to whoever we're staying with. So even if I were to move toward a job with a more normal schedule, I wouldn't want to lose that feeling of gratitude. Because I am grateful. You know, when I roll into bed at 6 a.m. every day, my main feeling is gratitude. It's gratitude that I have a job that pays the bills, that's a steady income, that's a thing I like doing. I have coworkers that I like to work with and that make working overnight fun. I get to work out of the comfort of my own home. I get to be with the dogs 24/7. I get to work independently, listen to music all the time I'm working pretty much. It's a really great job and there are a lot of things to be thankful about. So if I did transition back, I'd want to make sure to keep that feeling of gratitude, to be reminded of the little reasons for gratitude, even when I'm not working a completely abnormal schedule that sometimes makes me miss out on certain experiences or throws me off a little bit. So I guess you could say the most valuable lesson I've learned from working the night shift is gratitude. Thanks for watching. I'm Nathan Emery. I'm 24 and I'm on a journey to figure out who I am and what my place is in this world. If those ideas or these videos have resonated with you, be sure to hit that subscribe button.